you ขอเสียงตบมือให้กับคุณเรียวนิดด้วยครับ
It's only that wasn't at home. Okay, so my name is Noni, and like present me, I'm working at Agoda. I moved to Thailand something like 10 months ago. And before that, I was a GDG leader in my country, back in Israel. And found this community here. It's really amazing, and people doing here amazing things. So today we will talk about validating startup ideas with Firebase. And I just looked at the previous presentation. It's really amazing things that what you have done in this Google Play. And I think that with Firebase, we can continue this amazing presentation and talk about how we can do the same thing inside your applications for websites. It's not working. Okay, great. So if the presentation will be boring, just stop me and we can talk about amazing places that I have been around the world. And Google Play is one of them. And let's continue. So numbers. Who don't like numbers? Like, I love numbers. Okay, great. So numbers can help us a lot, like with taking ideas. Like, how many programmers here? Like, how many developers in the audience? Like, 2, right? And how many people here like are product or entrepreneurs? Like, great. So if you develop some new product, you must use a lot with numbers because nobody knows if audience will and users will love your product or not, and you are very dependent on the numbers to take a decision what you will do next with your product. When you start new product, you have a couple of stages and a couple of challenges that you need to take a decision with. Like the first one is technical. Technical decision is like, can we do it? Like, it's possible to do it. After that, it's product decision. What should we do it? Like, what we should develop? How our application should be built? What feature should be in the application? Another one is, okay, we build the product, but how we now promote it? Like, how we get engaged to the user to download our application and to use it. Another one is very important is to scale. Like when we develop our product, we need to have the ability to scale, like to handle millions of users. And the final one is finance. Like, okay, we have the product, it can handle a lot of users, it's have a lot of users, and now how we earning enough money to continue to develop this product. Okay, so we will talk more about product decisions now. And the first thing is, okay, I have idea. I have idea for the app, or I don't have idea for the app. Where to begin? Like, the first step can be to talk with your friends, or look for some problems that somebody need to solve. Like, in my example, I only moved to Bangkok like 10 months ago, and I have family and I have kids. And my main issue was like, okay, my kids are boring at home and they want some friends. So here's a real problem and we need to solve it. So let's take it for example. So we want to solve these problems. We want to find the way how to find friends for my kids. So we're trying to explore how we'll do it the best. So I have my wife, I can ask her, okay, how do you think we can do it? Or we have a couple of friends, what do you think? Like, what's the perfect way to do it? So the simple solution is to create some application that people can look after around them, like for more parents that have kids and they can connect and play together. We start to develop our product, our application, and then we don't know. Okay, we have a lot of questions, how to do it best. Like, we have the option to do it like in one flow, and the option to do it in another flow, and option to have one feature, and option to have other feature. We have a lot of ideas. We have a great designers that design our app and our buttons, and it can be like different approaches and different designs, and we don't know what will work best for our users. So what we can do? Let's go back. Okay, anyone know the solution? What we can do? Okay, great. So one of the approaches is to use A/B testing. The same way like we saw in the previous presentation, like you can do it inside the Google Play and raise your engagement to download your app. But now we want to handle and to test, like if you change something in our application, how to change the flows of the user or engagement of the user, and how we'll get like less drop-offs from our application. So I'm contributing for some open source project. It's a really small and interesting project, trying just to use all the Firebase technology inside and to see how it's helped me. So the project is about just taking for public NASA API some images from the Mars, from the rovers that now on the Mars, and just open like social network. You can add your comments for these images and read comments from other people, and then I have some problem. I have a problem that I don't know what will work the best. I wanted to test a simple example. A simple example of buttons, like if I will change the button in the menu to be written like a text, or to do the same button with image, I want to test and check how user will use it, like will I get more clicks for that. And Firebase giving us a lot of tools, like and all based around analytics. We can send a lot of data to Firebase, a lot of events, a lot of flows of user, a lot of information, collect everything on Firebase platform. And another feature is a remote config. Remote config is a very powerful tool, and we can use it for several options. The one option is to have it like a feature flag. If you're releasing your application and you see that you have a lot of crashes and something is broken, you can immediately switch off this option in your application. So you will not need to roll out another version of application. You can just switch off and continue to use the same version. And another cool feature, because Firebase have all of the data that we are collecting from our users, we can use A/B testing. We have the option inside remote config to config different some rules which user will get which configuration. So we can handle like A/B testing. We can configure one group of users, some percentage of user will get configuration A, and other group of user will get configuration B. So then we can do the test. And with analytics, we can after that analyze and to see which group have better engagement or better usage from the data that we collect inside analytics. So this is some example of dashboard. I think I will move to the real one. It will be better and easy to understand. 1 second. Okay, let's continue with slides. Okay, sorry, let's continue with slides. Resolution is very low. So what we see here is the console for Firebase. The base console of Firebase has the analytics, like I told you before. We have the analytic option in the left, and we have a couple of tabs that we can move and switch between them. The main tab, the first tab is the dashboard. Inside the dashboard, we have information on how many users and how many daily users we have inside the application, and a little bit more information for our use. Oh, 1 second, sorry. Yeah, let's move. Okay, so this is the example for the same open source applications that I was talking with you before. And here we see the two variants. Like one variant is the image for about, and the other variant is about, just right on the about. What do you think? Like which variant is have better engagement to click? Who think it's variant A? Okay. And who think it's variant B? Oh, cool. Let's check with who's with. So here we have all the information that I collected. I don't have a lot of users, so this is a little amount. Like we have for variant A, 70 users that get this variant, and for variant B, 23 users. And we have like clicks, 3 clicks for variant A, and 3.7 clicks for variant B. So variant B is winner. We have our video. So you can see like a little change, like for icon, it can change the behavior of our user inside the app. So think about something different. If our app is selling something, like we have in-app purchase in our application, and simple change of icon can engage more clicks on it, and more clicks is more money for us. Like if we are selling something, we can sell more. So it's great to play with these options. So let's summarize about A/B testing and how it works. Like the flow is really simple. We are building some product, we experiment, we optimize this option, and we continue to experiment with this product. It will be like rounded and endless until we find the correct version and correct options that engage more for our users. Okay, so it's less interesting. Yeah, like funnels. Funnels is a great tool. Funnels is how to play better with our analytic data. We can describe some specific flows from what we collect from the analytics and have it prepared. Like we can prepare a flow of, okay, I want to see all the users that start our application, go inside about, and after that clicking the link inside about, okay? And after we define the Google the funnels, we can just filter it. Have a filter, we have ability, because we define our group of users that a participant is A/B testing, we can see how the funnel changed, what's the percentage of different flows with our changes with A/B testing. Okay, how much it costs? It's a great system, great tool. It's have a big power and change our lives and lives of our user because they have like better experience in our application. And all of that is for free. If you open the Firebase project, you get this option for free. Let's see how we define these experiments and how it works. So for the beginning, we need to go to analytics and go to user properties. We need to define the group of the user that uses our experiment. We will define it here and create. Next step is going to remote configuration option inside Firebase. We will define the rules, the conditions, which option, which variant will be which type of user group. Like we can define that 50% of user get variant A and 50% of user get variant B. Or it can be like 10% variant A, 10% variant B, it's not matter. You define what is your rules. This is example for Android, but it's not matter. It's working for iOS and for web. It's working the same way. What you need to do is to fetch your configuration remotely from Firebase. And after you're fetching your configuration, you need to register to the group, user group, what we was defining before, which experiment option you get. So we can log every time that we are logging something, we will have the ability in the Firebase console to filter it for specific users, like which of the users using the configuration for A and which of the type of users using configuration B. And the last step is to log the click. Here we have some simple log, like we have something, we are putting the key. Sorry. Here, my mistake. Here we are showing the button, like if you get configuration A, we are showing one kind of button, and if you get configuration B, we are showing different kind of button. And the last step is just to send the click event to Firebase and log this click. Here we can see it. The log can have a lot of parameters. You can see all the parameters list in the Firebase documentation. Here's some small example of parameters that you can use. And after that is great success. Great success because we have the option and we have the good tool to analyze our users. Thank you. Any question?
เดี๋ยวตบมือให้กับคุณเดียวเลยมีคำถามไหมฮะเกี่ยวกับ Firebase มีใครเคยลองใช้แล้วมีใครเคยสงสัยไหมครับว่ามันคือ Product อะไรที่หลังจากที่เขาอธิบายไปจริงๆ Firebase เป็นที่สุดฟรี right Yes
I can answer that. Okay, so configuration is for free, analytic is for free. If you want to export the data of analytic to use more powerful tools, it's cost a little bit money. It's have like couple different programs. And for data storage, it's have like two limitations, connection. You can see all the limitations of free use and non-free use on the Firebase website. Any more questions? Okay, thank you.
สำหรับเซสชั่นต่อไปนะครับก็เป็นชาวต่างชาติอีกท่านหนึ่งเหมือนกันครับผมก็คุณอิยากินะครับคุณอิยากิเป็นคนสเปนนะฮะแต่ว่าตอนนี้ทำงานอยู่ที่อาโกด้าแล้วก็พ่วงตำแหน่ง GDE นะครับ Google Developer Expert ของ Android นะครับในเมืองไทยเรามี GDE Android อยู่ 3 ท่านนะครับก็มีคุณเนยมีคุณอิยากิแล้วก็จะมีคุณเอกนะฮะซึ่งอยู่ตรงนี้